This driver was dropping off a lady at a location, but just a few yards away, carjackers were monitoring his every move. They decided to approach the vehicle, and things were about to escalate really quickly. The man was not about to let them just pounce on him that easily. The crew were left dumbfounded after that move by the driver. On this scene, the robbers had stopped the targeted vehicle, but they did not prepare for what came next. The South African police force came right on time to foil this disgraceful act. The robbers were now scrambling to escape the scene, with the tables being turned on their heads here. The police got to work arresting all the culprits on the spot. The others tried to run, but the cops reminded them why they carry 9mm pistols. The robber was now struggling after tasting some of his own medicine. This Merc was refueling when robbers decided it was time to change ownership the unofficial way. But the driver was not about to donate his prized possession. They really thought they had hit the jackpot here, but they were left looking dumb after that miserable failure. This culprit had just stabbed a victim, and the civilians decided to end his circus right then and there. He was now trying to escape, but there was nowhere to hide for this clown. The driver made sure the man could not leave the scene that easily. On our next clip, the owner of the white vehicle had just arrived home. He was preparing to enter the residence when hijackers blocked him from behind. They were now demanding for him to exit the vehicle, but there was an unexpected twist in this chaos. They forced him into the getaway vehicle, with the other robber taking over the targeted vehicle. Things seemed to be going as planned, but the new driver was not ready for what was about to happen. The colleagues of the hijacked driver had noticed the situation, and they decided to intervene before the robber could escape. The man had also shifted into first gear instead of reverse while panicking after seeing pistols pointed at his face. They were now giving the man a grim reality of how it feels when one faces these robbers at gunpoint. On this scenario, the yellow delivery truck had been targeted. The robbers stopped at a distance and then proceeded to approach the truck. The The delivery man noticed the suspicious movements from the view mirror and decided to act before it was too late. The robbers had to give up after failing miserably. Props to that driver for trying his best to escape here. He also made sure he did not damage other vehicles in this highly stressful situation where life is on the line. This robber was caught in the act by the South African police. The police vehicle came rushing, going straight to work once they identified the culprit. The man tried to make a run for it, but the cops were now laser focused on the clown. He was even still holding the bag he just took from the victim. The man was apprehended and arrested by the police. Props to these relentless men of the force. These robbers had been chased down and caught by the South African police. They were now laying on their stomachs after failing to outrun the responding team. They had stolen a Mercedes-Benz in traffic in broad daylight. Here the police have been alerted on an active robbery inside a shop in South Africa. The robbers had no idea the cops had been called, and they were about to get a nasty surprise. We first see an officer entering the place before drawing his weapon. He is then joined by other officers in the act as the situation gets more and more intense. The robber did not even recognize the officers at first, and by the time he realized what was happening, it was already too late for him. The man threw himself to the ground like a sack of potatoes, leaving the gun behind. The sidekick followed the leader in this humbling crescendo. All the aggression was now gone after failing horribly here. The officers did extremely well, but they might have not handled the aftermath of the takedown better. Some of the owners of the store were handling the weapon left on the ground by the culprits, and this is a huge no-no when dealing with these situations. Once officials take over a situation, it is highly recommended for civilians to move as far away as possible, mostly if it is still an active scene, with the potential of these officers being distracted and losing focus against these unpredictable robbers. Our final video starts with this man trying to climb over an electric fence to enter a residence illegally. To try and piece out how he thought this would work out is totally impossible. The man was even wearing a plastic, possibly for it to act as a shield from the wires on top of that wall. That alone sums up the miserable failure this was bound to be. He finally gave up and accepted his humbling. Thank you for watching and being on this journey with us since the beginning of the year. We would like to wish you all a safe and wonderful time during this holidays. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more this upcoming year.